Hello, everybody. Today we are doing What If Deku and Eri were siblings in Demon Slayer Part 2. And yeah, first things I'd like to explain. Tomorrow, yes, we are doing What If Deku was Zenitsu's Descendant Part 2. Because, the poll. Yeah, you understand. So, yeah, we continue off a couple hours later when Izuku and Tanjiro wake up. And Izuku immediately goes over to Tanjiro and asks, is your sister up yet? As he's like, no, why? Well, I'm just saying, I'm kind of worried because everyone else has been awake for a while. As he looks over to Eri as she waves at him. As Tanjiro says, oh, it's nothing. She's probably just tired. As Urudaki begins constructing them on a basic regimen before they start breathing practices. As Urudaki also asks what breathing style Izuku knows about. As Izuku says, I'm new here, but I'll definitely be able to learn what I think are these breathing styles. And I accept the responsibility. As Tanjiro says, don't you have that ability that makes you extremely strong though? As Izuku says, yes, but it seems you guys are even faster with your breathing styles. I couldn't beat Gyu. He beat me in a flash. As Tanjiro says, okay. As for the next couple of months, Eri watches as Tanjiro and Izuku get better as a swordsman and better physically. But Izuku had already been better physically, so Izuku had to do like 10 times that of Tanjiro's regimen, which is probably really rough still. So Izuku, eventually after a couple months, Tanjiro and him start learning water breathing tech. How to water breathe. As they start learning this, their training dummies get destroyed when one day Urudaki says, well, I want to try something out. As he pulls Izuku over to the side and shows him a massive boulder, not the one for the final selection thing. As he says, use your full power with that ability, and I want you to use it with your sword with the water breathing. Now, if you can do that, we'll be able to see how strong you are. As Izuku says, full cowl, 20%, as his entire body lights up with electricity, as he slashes at the boulder the hardest he can, and it cuts straight through it, even making a little crater, as Urudaki says, interesting. Well, as Tanjiro comes out from the side, as Urudaki says, you two, I've taught you all I can teach you. As he beckons them over, as they find another boulder, as Izuku's about to ask a question, Urudaki says, I want you two to be able to break this boulder in 6 months. Izuku boy, you do not use your quirk, as you call it. That will be far too easy. Only use that in extreme situations. I would like you to build up some skill as a swordsman before you do that. So see fit when you should use your quirk. As Izuku says, yes, sir. I think in Japanese it's hi or something. Anyway, Izuku and Tanjiro go over towards the boulder. And Eri had grown a couple, we'll say 2 years older throughout the entirety of this training. Or I think it was 3 years. We'll assume so, because I'm going off prior knowledge here. And Izuku and Eri now was, I believe, 7 or 9. Either way, Urodaki also starts her on a smaller regimen because she could be a good swordsman one day. Because, Nezuko still isn't awake, and Tanjiro insisted that when she wakes up, he'd also like her to start her on a regimen so that they can all be swordsmen one day to protect each other. So, Izuku looks over to Eri as he walks over to the boulder and waves. As Eri waves back and looks back, they're gone. As Urodaki says, "There are 2 boulders here. I instruct you to break these boulders with your swords. But no special abilities. Use your water breathing to your advantage. If you cannot finish this by the time final selection is here, you will not take part in it." As he walks back. As Tanjiro tries to call for him, nothing happens. As at least they have each other to console with. So for the first 3 months, they start slashing at the same boulder. They scratch it a couple times, but not completely breaking it. But one day, as Izuku and Tanjiro were relentlessly slashing at their boulders, a man comes out of nowhere with a fox mask, and another girl with another fox mask. And these 2 were Sabito and Mokomo. As Izuku says, "Tanjiro, look," as he looks over. Oh, sorry, guys. And hold up, wait a minute. We're gonna pray that y'all didn't see that. Okay. Face reveal if you're determined enough, quote unquote. So, Izuku and Tanjiro try and confront this person, but he just tells them that you 2 don't need to know my name. I'll be helping you break these boulders in front of you. I know you might say we've been trying for 3 months, but you have been trying the right thing. As for the next 2 months, they begin teaching them the techniques of water breathing. But not on the boulders. But on the last month, the trees get cut through, and they think they have it down pretty good. So on the last day before, Tanjiro and Izuku get in front of the boulder, as they both say, "Water breathing, first form," as they slash at the boulder. And both of theirs at the same time cut straight in half. As Tanjiro notices as Eri comes over to Izuku and hugs his leg and says, "Good job, Mr. Deku." As he says, "Thank you, Eri." As Sabito and Mokomo also face off with each other no, not with each other, against Tanjiro and Izuku. As Sabito against Tanjiro and Mokomo against Izuku. Firstly, Tanjiro, after the clash with Sabito, eventually overpowers him and cuts through his mask, revealing Sabito's face. As Mokomo's turn, the same result happens, except much quicker, as within a couple seconds, Izuku already cut through her mask with precision, as she's amazed as her face is revealed, and Sabito and Mokomo walk through into the wilderness as they say, "We believe in you. Take revenge." As Izuku's like, "Hey, what do you mean by that?" As they had already disappeared. As they tell Urodaki, and next day they arrive at final selection. How long have we? Probably not long. Okay. This, everyone, is where we will be leaving off for this. Don't worry, guys. After tomorrow's part of What If Deku Was Zenitsu's Descendant happens, I will do What If Deku and Eri Were Siblings in Demon Slayer Part 3. So yeah, I do want to tell you of that. And yes, sorry for not posting much. It's lots of things are happening because I'm moving, so I can only post so much. Yeah, that's just an excuse. I'm just joking. Yeah, so I am actually moving though. So this is Kito signing off. Goodbye, everybody.